on, guys? I figured I'd put together this screencast and just walk you guys through where I came out with on the homepage. It'd be a little easier than putting it all in an email. So pretty much going off of this wireframe, I stuck to it. I did add one more row. Marianne, you mentioned that you wanted to possibly add like rotating testimonials. So let me get into it and just walk you guys through where I panned out. So, okay, let me refresh the page here. I have this banner, just like we talked about in the wireframe, that rotates. Now, let me refresh. I have a welcome message, and I put the knocker there, and I chose not to show the knocker attached to the logo there. And basically, the reason was it was a little cleaner up there without it, and I noticed that knocker, when it's not doesn't have white around it, like a white shadow or a glow, it looks choppy for some reason. So that was pretty much the reason why I did that. So I think I have 8 total slides here. When you mouse off of this slideshow, you'll notice that the arrows disappear, that you can click through with the arrows. And when you mouse on, these little navigation dots and the arrows appear. So you can kind of skip through them if you want to any one, and you can click through them with the arrow. Right now, I have a temporary video that loops for the second slide, and you'll see it come in right now. That's just a little footage I took from one of the Westchester sets. It's just temporary. My goal is to get maybe like a 7 to 10 second money shot. Marianne, I think you mentioned too that you wanted like a, let me go back to that, like a close-up of the logo on the crane and then zoom out and then kind of show it setting a box. That's the shot I want. And if Boulevard is around on that day, which is the 27th, with his drone, that would be awesome too. I don't know if those stars will align and we'll get Boulevard there, but if not, I think I could get a decent shot with my own equipment, my own camera. And Patrick, I ran it by Patrick too, and he mentioned that I could stop by or maybe even stay there for the day and help, or just to get some footage of the set. So yeah, so I have these photos here, and we could swap in or out any ones that you don't like. I think when I do get the good footage, I think I'm going to start with the video and then have the welcome message load on top with the script and the knocker. And yeah, just have it load right on top of that. And then, I do want to do a combination of photos and one video. That's what I think would look the best. Possibly maybe 2 videos and like 5 photos. Right now I have 1 video and like 7 photos. And you can see get to them here. So okay, let me keep moving down. You'll notice when I scroll down here, these 3 featured images which we had in the wireframe here about us, recent projects and testimonials, they actually have a slight animation. So the first time you go down, you'll see this one, recent projects, drops down. Our company swoops left and testimonials swoops right. It's just a little effect that I add. That those little things, I feel like they kind of add a little flavor to the site. So, but if anything like that's distracting and you guys don't like that, I could certainly remove it. You'll notice I have a background texture, which I used a blueprint, which I thought was cool. Let me just pull this out. You could even see like the watermark or the logo. It's an actual plan, and I thought that was really cool, just to show something textural and not be too distracting as a background. But again, we could put anything there you guys have in mind. And also here, like you see these 3 images. I have these angles where the maroon is, and I also mirrored that at the top here. You can see these corners. I kind of have these angles. I like that kind of stuff. Again, if you guys are more into just clean, like originally I had just one maroon bar going across the top, but I sort of like that little stuff. Maybe it's sort of a look that we could establish. Even going with this guy that I sent you guys earlier, maybe with some of the flyers, Vin, we go with these lines that angle like that and fade out, and sort of to build like a brand look and feel. So anyhow, let me keep going down, and you'll see that this is the next parallax row. This is the effect that I was telling you guys about. Parallax. Well, as you scroll, things move on different planes. Like you can see the type moves on a different plane than the photo. It's not all flat, and then these rows sort of mask and reveal each other. I think it's a really nice effect, and it kind of adds depth to a site. And everyone seems to love that I've been doing that lately. I get no negative feedback on that. So let me know what you guys think. When you're putting text over photos, I find there's 2 scenarios. You darken the photo and you go light copy, or you go vice versa, like I did here. where I have, or even the testimonials here where I have dark text over a light photo. You know, you can't, unfortunately, you can't have both. You can't have a bright photo and bright words, nothing pops. So I kind of showed both on purpose to see which kind of look you guys like more. I think the combination of the one row of dark, one row of light is kind of nice. But let me know what you guys think. So these words too, by the way, I kind of took some of it from the existing site and some of it I kind of just filled in for now. I'm not the world's greatest copywriter. I'm decent, but it's kind of, you know, I might need you guys' assist on that. You guys might look at what I wrote here and not like it at all, or you might want to just fine tune it. But this is like the style I wanted to go for. Like this skinny font as like the subheader. These three words is like a main impactful line, and then like, you know, the bold copy here. And then I have this, I actually things. So yeah, I don't want to make this video too long, but again, if you look at the wireframe, I pretty much stuck to it. It's just the home page is just the only page. If you try to click on any of these tabs or any links, nothing will happen right now. I did kind of like tuck some of these pages under a drop-down menu. So if you come up top here, when you mouse over About, you'll see you get a drop, like About Our Company, About Getting Started, About Financing. It kind of works. And so I don't like when people make this top parent tab clickable. So this will go nowhere at all times. You try to click on it, nothing happens. You would then only have to click on these three. And what's nice is that we could, as the site grows, we could add as many pages as we want. We could do drop downs, under drop downs, you know, maybe recent projects, we could do them per project and drop down. So what I was thinking was Our Company would just be the About page. You know, we would use some of the old copy from the old site or maybe freshen it up. Getting Started is from the old site, Financing. So that's what I did up there. It was just too many across. You could actually even see on your existing site that Contact is getting pushed to the next line because, you know, I know it looks like you have more room here and more room here, but you actually, the reason why I didn't go further with some of this content, like these three images and that, is because that's 960 pixels, which on laptop things would get cut off. So also, by the way, I'm going to emulate a phone with the screen. So if I were to make this window the size of a phone, you could see how I'm starting to do the mobile responsiveness. Like you click on what's called the hamburger icon here, and you get these big chunky buttons for your thumb. Then also, you see these images are 1, 2, 3 across. Then they now go 1, 2, 3 down. So everything stacks now for the phone. You know, even this bottom footer, 1, 2, 3 across, and then 1, 2, 3 down. It would stack on a phone. So for now, guys, just do me a favor and don't look at anything on a phone. That's kind of like phase 2. Otherwise I'm making changes to 2 sites essentially every time there's a change. So what we do is we lock down the desktop version of the website, and then we work on the mobile version, you know, if there's any things, you know, coding or design things we want to change. All right, that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you think. If I'm off to a good start, let me know about all these little things I have, you know, the blueprint background or the plans as a background here. Let me know if you want to swap out any photos. Also, Marianne, this row here is a new one. This maroon row that says, got a question. I felt like I needed to break up things visually, and I think this is always good to have, just another way to get to the contact page. And also, that's the point of these 3 featured boxes too. It's called a dual entryway link. It's another way to get to the main pages, and it actually helps with Google. And again, guys, whatever screen you're on, this site will, you know, the way I set it up, the site's going to respond to whatever size. So if you're on like an 80-inch TV, you can see everything responds nice. These nice big photos you guys sent me that are great, and so everything will sort of adjust and stretch out to whatever size we're on, as you can see. You know, same thing with all this stuff here. All right, great. Let's circle back. Let me know your initial thoughts on the direction I'm going in, and we'll touch base from there.